Inspire, connect, and enable the ecosystem of entrepreneurs. Welcome to Hubcast by Impact Hub Lagos, a podcast for the Nigerian innovator, changemaker, and entrepreneur. In each episode, we will bring to you exciting and inspiring content where we will share knowledge, insights, opportunities, and real innovative stories from the Impact Hub Lagos community. As the bloodline of our economies, entrepreneurs need to be supported and given every opportunity and resource to succeed. It is our mission to empower you from intention to impact.
Hi there, listeners. Welcome back to Impact Hub Lagos Hubcast. We kick off 2022 with a meet and greet at the Africa Business Radio Studio with the French ambassador to Nigeria, Madame Emmanuelle Blackman. This week, I'll be speaking with Akitoye Balogun, former enterprise account manager at Cisco and former head of business development at Pave. Akitoye has a tangible passion for music, performing under the moniker Ajebutter 22. Akitoye is currently the founder and CEO of Muva Networks, where he coordinates global trades, compliance, deals, and strategic partnerships. In this episode, we'll be discussing how to make smart investment decisions as millennials. Hi there. Welcome to Impact Hub Lagos Hubcast. Welcome to the 16th episode of the Hubcast, and I remain your host, Anita Akbakoba. And here with me today, I have a very interesting guest. He has experience in business development, a great passion for music, performing, and he also is the founder and CEO of Muva Networks. Please join me in welcoming today Akitoye Balogun, or as many people know him, Ajebutter 22. Hi, Akitoye. Welcome to the show.
I like that intro. Very, very serious. I'm like, shouldn't me be this? Thank you very much. I'm happy to be here.
Great.
My first time at Impact Hub. It's like a very chilling place. I don't know how I can be telling you guys about investments in this kind of blown environment. But yeah, we're here, Sha.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for taking out time to be here today.
No worries.
So I'll just start with, I'm curious because, when everybody hears Ajebutter 22, they just see this soft guy, why should I invest in farmland when I can rent house on the island? So please,
funny.
Just give us a brief intro on your corporate and entrepreneurial journey.
Okay. First of all, that line was like a joke. Right? I was trying to say, yes, you should invest in farmland and not just rent house on the island. But yeah, like satire or whatever. But yeah, my journey, funny enough, how I got into business and tech and investing was through music, because when I first moved to Nigeria, I think I had just finished my master's, and I was, kind of more focused on music because I studied petroleum engineering, but I knew that I didn't want to do that. And around the time when I came to Nigeria, I realized we didn't have anything, no digital way to buy music, officially. There was iTunes in the world, but there wasn't iTunes here really. There wasn't any Spotify here. And there wasn't, we had ringback tunes, but that was pretty much it. So I wanted to build a platform for people to be able to download music and pay, how you paid for ringback tunes with, the vast providers, MTNs and so on and so forth. Anyway, I tried to build that. I went to, was it Idea Hub or CC Hub at the time? So it was way back. I just needed to find someone to help me build this thing. When I found someone, built a team, and we started building this platform. Anyways, long story short, the thing failed. However, it opened my mind and gave me a lot of experience into the world of startups, the world of technology, being able to use technology to solve problems. And I was just so intrigued by that. And then from then, I worked at a mobile startup called GameSo. I made mobile games. And then in the same building, there were 5 or 6 other startups who were raising money very early in the space. It was 2014. and it was like super, super interesting. And I was just like, I just fell in love with all that. So from there, you know, if you want to be an entrepreneur, if you want to be in tech, it's one of those ones where if you're not a developer, you kind of have to be well-rounded in a lot of other things. So naturally, investment will come into that. Even things like basic accounting skills, basic like project management, basic, you know, so many things that you just want to learn and you're just curious about, to just upskill yourself. So, you know, those were the things that were interesting me at the time. Before I worked at Stanbic in a bank for a while, and then I worked at Cisco for like almost 5 years. And yeah, that also really, really like opened my mind to how it was to be in a big tech company. And like, you know, if you want to be an entrepreneur, you want to build something really big, this is what the end goal looks like. And throughout my period there, of course, even like with making music as well, dropping my albums, I started having more disposable income and started like wanting to invest and thinking of different ways to do things. And naturally, the way I am, just based on being curious, you know, the things I'd look at to invest in will not always be the most traditional orthodox at the time, but I'm also somebody that can take risks. And I've always understood from early that, you know, for you to get really high, you have to be willing to fall. And unlike falling off an actual cliff, most times when you fall, like the bottom is not that bad, especially if you don't have, for me, I don't have any children or anything. I don't really have that many dependents. So like, I just felt like at this period, you can, you know, take chances, take risks, and, you know, invest and just try different things. Even, and the worst that can happen is that you learn. So I think that's like my background and how I, you know, got into, you know, the whole space and everything. And today, you know, I run my own startup. I've invested in tech companies. I've invested in just assets, you know, so on and so forth. Yeah, so I hope I've given you a good enough intro.
Fantastic. That was like very, very detailed. Really, really detailed intro. And it's interesting that you mentioned about how you started off trying to build that platform and that failed. Yeah. But still, you know, with your experience and with what you've seen in the industry and across the ecosystem, you're still willing to, you know, learn from that and then take risks, like you said. Was that point you mentioned about, you know, the bottom not being that bad, especially for, you know, for millennials and those that really don't have a lot of dependence and all of that.
Yeah.
So that is a good segue to my next question. So in this uncertain, you know, climb and with all the risks that are accompany like investments and all of that, how can one recognize an investment worthy opportunity?
Okay, so the first thing to, I think, highlight is that the times that we're living in are very, very weird. That's what I'll put it, because there's two things. One, there's so much information. There's like information overload. It's super easy for people to spin up things. And we're also living in like one of the worst economic times for Africa. It's very good and very bad. If I use Nigeria specifically, it's not a great time. So people are going to come up with a lot of scams. There are people that want to make money really quickly, and there are not a lot of jobs. So people want to invest like what they have. So there's a lot of easy targets, and there's a lot of things that people can easily run into and just like fall short. So the very first thing I'd say about investing and, you know, being able to identify is doing your research. You're not, you know, the most important thing is you being comfortable in what you're doing and having conviction in what you're doing. As human beings that we are, we only know so much about other things that we're not doing day to day. But as much as possible, I think like your investment should be, or your investment portfolio should almost be like your side hustle, in that you are spending a lot of time doing research and understanding what goes on in that space, and that knowledge can never waste.
Definitely. Certainly. So giving that, you know, when one does their research and of course you cover all your bases and you're learning and you're growing from what you find out there, would you say that it's possible for a millennial, especially in Nigeria, to achieve financial freedom through investments? If yes, how?
So financial freedom through investment, I would say yes, But then it's like a very complicated yes, because it's not like you're going to wake up and start investing. If you don't have enough money to just eat and go day by day, then investing wouldn't really come to you, or wouldn't really make sense to you. So first of all, there's having disposable income. And that comes, if I was to say kind of investing in yourself and investing in your skills. So in my own life, the way I think generally is there's investing money, there's investing in your body, there's investing with your time, like your knowledge, and there's investing like even in relationships that you have with people. And in any of those different ways, like even like what you eat, it can be like a liability or it can be like an asset, even in the food that you eat, even in relationships you keep, everything. So like if we don't have money to invest per se, as a millennial, I think what is also super important is investing our time in getting skills that can make us money. Like there's so many services that we can export, because human resource is a crazy resource. Like it's a really, really underrated resource. And it's really underrated here because people don't pay that well in general.
True.
Not maybe because there are so many people here, but a lot of skills that we have can be used across the world. So if we invest our skills as a very, very, very minimum, that is something and is very important. But in terms of like financial investing to get financial freedom, yes, you can. It's easier said than done. But then if that's the case, then the risk appetite has to be high. If the goal is to earn financial freedom through like investing money and stuff, the risk appetite has to be high. But yes, it's very possible.
Fantastic. I like how you put it all into those different buckets, like investing in your skills, investing in everything, relationships, the sort of
super key.
Exactly. So what would you say would make an investment in the current Nigerian economy smart?
To be fair, to be very honest to this Nigerian economy that we are now, the first thing you have to think of when you want to invest is the inflation rate. Whatever investment you are doing has to be able to beat the rate of inflation. If you're doing any investment that is like 10%, 15%, chances are like over a year per annum, chances are you're losing money, because the rate of inflation from last year to this year has been, off the top of my head, I think like 25% at least. Right? So if you're doing any investment that you're making less than 25%, you're already at a loss.
True.
Right? So that's the first thing to establish. And that inflation, it's not getting better, it's getting worse at the moment. So that's the first thing. So I recommend dollar-based investments. So even, investing in stocks, even if it's fixed income savings, so long as the savings that you're doing should be based in maybe like pounds or dollars or whatever the case may be, or in crypto, something like that, even if it's stable coins. What makes an investment smart? So a smart investment for me would be an investment at very minimum not based on Naira, or an investment that beats the inflation rate.
Fantastic. So what sectors, considering that, what sectors of the economy would you say are low risk, but, probably overlooked, or, they're highly profitable and are currently overlooked by millennials here in Nigeria?
Nothing is really new under the sun, but of course another thing I'd like to say about investing is that the market is very important. So the size of the market and the growth of the market or the sector is very important. You don't want to be investing in a sector that is stagnant or that is regressing. You want to be investing in things that are growing, that are new. That might mean that they might be more risky, but chances are, in the short term at least, if it's a short-term investment, those ones are going to do a lot better, even long-term. So the sectors I'd say that might be overlooked, I don't know how many people are investing in agriculture, but agriculture is a great sector to invest in. Of course, if you do your research, tech is a really, really good. I don't think these things are overlooked again. Millennials, we know they carry last.
Sure.
People know everything that's going on. Technology is really, really good to invest in. Technology cuts across from investing in, startups to, investing in crypto, for instance, to like tech stocks, for instance. If you just put your money in tech stocks and just leave it for a long while, chances are you're going to do well, right? For me, those are the ones that have been rewarding. So like, agriculture, crypto, tech. I'm trying to think of any other. Oh yeah, entertainment. So music, movies. I think will get there very soon. But music, but it's not just easy to invest in music at the moment. But that's a very, 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 very good place to invest money.
Interesting. So if you're looking at the entertainment sector now for the music aspect, there needs to be a bit more. It
needs to be. It's not. People like me have the opportunity to invest in music, obviously, because I know who to talk to, have the connection, but it's not like available to everybody to be able to do that at the moment. Okay. But it's a great way to invest.
Okay. So, well, since you're here and it's Impact Hub, maybe we can start building platform.
Yeah, for real.
Enable the outsiders get access in.
Yeah, I'm actually working on something where people can, sort of invest their money in music, like as a way of giving advance to artists, which will not be like just one artist or two artists, and you don't have to sign them to any record label. It's more like a portfolio, like similar to like angel investing. And then you get like your returns on your investments, so to speak.
Nice. That sounds really, really good. I hope you're thinking of bringing it now that you're here. Now that you're here, we're hoping that solution is going to be
as soon as it's to the level where anybody can, I will definitely bring it in.
Sure, just season. Yeah, so when you talk about doing your research in order to invest, and then as you've identified those areas, agric, technology, crypto. Yeah,
sorry, I forgot to add real estate as well. Real estate is good. Again, that's one market that is like kind of saturated, and there are a lot of people in there, and there are a lot of scammers as well, so you really need to know what you're doing. But yeah, real estate is one of them. And even just like general FMCG trading, like if you know what you're doing and you're talking to the right people, you can invest your money and make good returns from that as well. Okay. But it's all about doing your research. It's all about being as close as possible to the problem, understanding the problem that the company or the person or the business is solving, understanding the risks involved, understanding the size of the market, the growth opportunities for that investment. Yeah. And just like sometimes taking a risk.
Great. Taking risks. I would say like now the investment climate is, as you said, it's very open. Information is open to everybody. Yeah. And it's not really like in the past where you probably have to scour through newspapers to see who's, and all of that. So what would you say are the major advantages of investing now? Especially with the tech-enabled platforms out there, as against the traditional way of investing.
So now we have access, a lot more access, and without sounding like one of those crazy people, really traditionally, there have been people that have been gatekeeping access and haven't allowed that access to be free to everyone. So for a lot of years, or in fact for almost our whole lives, you can only invest in what's in your country, what's in front of you. You couldn't invest in like the New York Stock Exchange. We can only invest in what's in front of us. But now we have like so many platforms that are enabling like globalization. Before, if you wanted to invest in like agriculture or whatever, you probably had to have like a whole plot of land and then have all the operations yourself. But now with like platforms that enable that, you don't have to do the entire thing. If you wanted to invest in maybe like a taxi business, something, you had to like do everything yourself, get a driver that you trust, get a car, run the process, make sure that they're paying your money correctly. But now with like Bolt and like Uber and so on and so forth, all you need to do is like, put it on the platform and you have a dashboard and you see what you're making. And there's some real estate platforms that work the same way. So things are a lot easier, a lot more accessible. You can have global reach. You can invest in like, even like with crypto and with NFTs and so on and so forth. There's so many companies, so many currencies that we have access to that we didn't even have before. Today, people are playing games and making money. And I'm not even talking about just people streaming. I'm talking about sitting down playing Candy Crush on your phone and earning money as you're doing that. There are people that, so it's really a great time to be alive. You
Exactly.
can, even with your skills, like you can go on platforms like Fiverr if you're a designer and get design jobs. You learn how to invest in a course, learn how to design. In 1 month, you're on Fiverr doing designs and making money.
Great.
Yeah, so it's really a great time to be alive.
Exactly. So as an investment expert, right, as well as an Ajebutter,
Oh God.
with that soft side. So being that a lot of people want to live that soft life, they just want to know, where do I put my money? How much will this get me? What do I put my money in? And then after 2 years, what am I going to get? It's unfortunate that for this part of the world, inflation and our currency just being the way it is, what would you say, or what in your opinion, an expert opinion, would you say something like maybe 50,000 naira would get one in, say, 2 years?
Depends on your risk appetite, how much you want to go in. But if all you did, let's even use 2 years ago, I think that's the best way to do some of these things, to be, what's that word? To use like historical data.
Exactly.
If all you did was remove your money from Naira for 2 years ago, I'm pretty sure your money will be like 100k now. Abi? What was 2 years ago?
2 years ago, I think we were still at,
Three
probably like
360 or something,
Yeah.
and now 580, 590.
Exactly.
So you almost doubled your money if all you did was just take your money out of that situation. So even if you don't want to do anything, just change your money from Naira first. Minimum requirements. Yeah, but even with 50k, there, like agricultural platforms, if you're investing in Naira, those crowdfunding platforms, they're also good. With that amount of money, though, I think you're better off like buying something like cryptocurrency or like an NFT or something. Doing your research, obviously, knowing the right things to buy, and you can more than double, triple your money, self. Yeah, if you choose the right things.
Great.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. Now that you've mentioned crypto again,
Yeah.
I know we were speaking earlier and you were kind of explaining what Muva Networks does.
Yeah.
Do you want to speak a bit more on that?
Yeah, I'll speak a little bit. So essentially what Muva Networks does is a crypto company for businesses, and we help businesses solve some problems that they have using crypto. So some of those things would be like investing. Some of those things will be helping to remit through some of our partners on the platform, like our trading partners, to help move money from A to B. So it can be from Nigeria to Ghana, it can be from Nigeria to the US, it can be from the US to Cameroon, it can be from South Africa to the UK, whatever the case may be. There are a lot of companies, multinationals, that have different hubs and different requirements. So they need to hedge against inflation, they need to move their money, balance it around different positions, and do a lot of treasury management. And crypto really helps to make that easy. And also, like, if you want to invest your money, something that's safe and stable, but it's not based on Naira, crypto is also a great way to do that and to get returns that a bank will not give you, and it's still relatively stable.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's what Muva Networks does.
Great. I'd like to just throw in like a little extra question there. What's the experience been since the general government clamped down on, crypto and likes in Nigeria? What has the experience been at Muva Networks?
So funny enough, Muva Networks started after the government clamped down. But the way we've been able to design the business, it's not domiciled. I live here, but the business is not domiciled here. Another great thing about crypto is you don't necessarily have to have jurisdiction anywhere specifically. So we are a company that is currently independent of a lot of what you call like regulations or things like that. Like it doesn't affect us that much. Yeah, because of the way we've been set up.
Okay, great. So any last words, call to action for those listening on how they can, better than...
Yeah, I think for me, I'd always say like investing is really like a mindset. You have to understand that your money is not supposed to be just chilling on holiday in your bank account, your savings account. Your money should actually be working for you. That being said, in anything in life, if you just stayed in your room, and you did nothing, nothing would change. You make more, you make less. But if you go outside and you drive your car, you can have an accident or you can drive to the land of milk and honey. So you have to take risks, and also you have to do research. Once you start investing, nobody will tell you. Even you'll be so gassed to do the research, to go into this and go into that. So with that in mind, I'll tell people to go into research crypto, research NFTs, research traditional trading, traditional real estate, traditional agriculture as well. Do as much research as possible before you make your investment decisions. But yeah, and also think globally. Don't limit yourself to where you're born or where you're raised. The world is now global, so there's so many things that we can take advantage of if we just, open our minds.
Thank you so much, Akitoye. So you do your research, think globally, and of course,
be willing to take risks.
So thank you so much,
You're welcome.
Akitoye. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for being on the show. We hope that this is not your last time here at Impact Hub Lagos.
This fresh place. Any day I know where I don't get food and I'm in Ikoyi, straight here.
Show up. We'd be glad to have you at any time. So it's been a very, very insightful and engaging conversation with Ajebutter 22. And guys, of course, he definitely fits the moniker. He's a complete Ajebutter. So thank you everyone for listening. It's been Impact Hubcast episode 16. I've been talking to Akitoye Balogun, CEO Muva Networks, also known as Ajebutter 22.
Hello.
Yes. And we've been talking about how to make smart investment decisions as millennials. So until next time, stay inspired, keep connecting, and keep making impact.